All right, we're testing and I think we're live. All right. Okay, I always have to wait to get a little sound confirmation here. We'll give it just a moment to get people to see the notification and come on in for today's messages. So my name is Joelle and I'm the Viberarian. I am on a journey to elevate, enlighten, and empower. I'm doing all of that for my own self, right? Like, how can I live at a higher vibration and increase my awareness of self and then reflect that out into the world? And for those of you who are resonating with these sessions and with that vibration, who join me for these, I'm so appreciative to have companions on this walk in this journey. And I hope that you too are elevated, enlightened, and empowered by the guidance from Spirit that comes through our conversation here today. So it is a beautiful Friday here. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, anchoring my grid point in the metro area, very close to the airport here. Like literally, if I had a good arm, I could throw a stone and hit a runway. So I'm here holding a frequency of love and life for all the packages and people that pass through the airport. And if you would like to contribute your energy to that love vibration, please feel free. We're sending it out all places that the packages and people go through when they stop through here. My intention and desire is that they catch a little bit of the love bug because I'm sure sitting here shining my light. All right, so today's conversation, just to kind of see where we are, I'm actually very excited because I received a copy of the book Focus, Redirect the Magnifying Glass of Your Life to Live the Life of Your Dreams by Misty Oaks Paxton. Misty is a beautiful soul, and I have been doing her 21-day focus challenge. Today, I think we finished day number 13. And I will say this is the first time I've ever actually made it through this many days of a 21-day challenge. I've always like downloaded the Deepak Chopra and Oprah Winfrey meditation challenges. I've done diet challenge. I mean, if you name it, I have not been able to hold a frequency of attention prior to this. So I have actually been focusing more, and I'll put the link in the description box below. It's a thing that you can do at your own timing. You don't necessarily have to align with those of us who've been doing it from the beginning, because each of the modules stand alone. It's about a 30-minute daily work that we do. And I'm very excited because we've covered several of the chapters already, and now I get a chance to catch up on that. And I love the fact I got a beautiful little new crystal to add to my crystal family, a beautiful clear quartz crystal as a little bonus gift of high vibration with the book as well. So excited. Hope you join us. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier this week in my reading, it was the reading where we were bringing in the 2022 energies. And in that, there was a card that featured a symbol called the Sri Yantra. Now, I noted at the time about it. We didn't really go in deep with it, but I said, I'm going to have a different, another conversation about it. And in yesterday's focus session, Misty actually had on a Sri Yantra that I was like, okay, that's part of those synchronicities that we talk about. Like if you have the eyes to see and the ears to hear, there's an opportunity always present for us to have an additional conversation with Spirit and receive something that will more than likely benefit us in terms of our journey and our walk. So I knew I was going to go ahead and bring in the download and the information about the Sri Yantra from that particular point. So For those of you who are not familiar with what a Sri Yantra looks like, let me get this pulled up here. And I will share my screen so that we can take a look. One moment. I'm still getting the hang of switching all of these things out with my casting and all of that. So I appreciate your patience. All right, we're doing this together. So as you can see from these images here, the square form with the bars around it, and there are 9 interlocking triangles here, which the downward triangle is a feminine energy, right? With the, if you can even imagine like the womb, and the upward triangle is the masculine energy of pushing things and manifestation. So part of this is actually a very, very deep symbol and more than I could possibly cover in this particular session, but you can do your own deep dive and read about all of the elements. But a yantra is like a focal point, and we can meditate with the yantra, and it is really a tool for being able to bring the unmanifest into the manifest realm. I think that that's what yantras are. There are many, many yantras, but the Sri Yantra, as I understand it, it would be considered like the mother or master yantra, or really the first of the cosmic yantras and the sounds that bring stuff into creation. So of course, today we're going to dive in and see what is in the oracle decks that I have in the Viberarian collection about the Sri Yantra. And hopefully that will expand our awareness and see what the message is about bringing the unmanifest into manifest opportunity is for us. All right, so I knew that in the Sacred Geometry Oracle deck, I've talked about this deck before by Phoenix Gateway's Emily Kishvarda. I knew that there was likely going to be a Sri Yantra card in there. So I did go ahead and pull that out. We're going to look at that and see what it says. And then I also picked the Sacred Geometry Activation Guide Oracle and deck by Lon, which we used the other day, and the Native Heart Healing Oracle by Melanie Ware. These were the 2 decks that I was guided to supplement the reading. And so what I will do is we will pull for the masculine expression and the feminine expression from both of those decks, and centering around the focal point of the Sri Yantra then as our manifesting and meditation tool. So without any further explanation, let me just get right into firstly the Sacred Geometry Healing Cards version of this. And this is a Hindu symbol. So within this image, we can see the orange and the yellow, the orange being our sacral chakra, which is where we have our creative inspirations and our ideas from spirit. And then the yellow is the solar force, the solar plexus, that which we operate with out in the world with confidence and forthcoming in order to have the confidence and the drive and energy and the empowerment to bring our seeds of creation into the world. We have here the Om symbol as well. And this particular one does not have the square that you would see in the other yantras around it, which is interesting. One thing they've said is that, like, if you look at places all over the world, you can find the Sri Yantra, not just in India or where the Hindu faith started, that it has actually been found everywhere. And so it is one of those sacred geometry symbols that we see along with the flower of life, the seed of life, the traditional sacred geometry, things that we are becoming more and more conversational about, if you will. All right, so it says here, this is card 43. Now, 43 is, again, my indication of the divine feminine principle, the Sophia, the wisdom of the intentional manifestation point of the cosmos, which is in partnership with the masculine, the wisdom and the knowledge that bring forth in companion energy that which we create and understand to be our reality. And so this is a 43, and I did read that this is known as like the mother yantra as well. So I think that's very interesting. But it talks about meditation and connection to higher wisdom. So let's see what we have here about the Sri Yantra. Om is the sound of the universe. And it says, this meditation card is a reminder of the importance of having some mental rest. It is asking you to take a short time out of your busy schedule to reconnect to your higher consciousness, to gain new perspective and clarity. Meditation is a practice that is used to help clear a busy, frustrated mind, promote relaxation, and produce a sense of calm and an altered state of consciousness. It does wonders for your state of mind by helping with memory, stress, productivity, and creativity, general health, and well-being. Okay, so have you had your meditation time? I know that the focus work is helping me put a meditative kind of energy forward. It's really like one of the first active things that I do after I come to awakening and spend my time processing my dream state and setting my intentions for the day and being there. But I can use an increase in meditation time where the mind is allowed to relax from its job and where spirit can pick up and begin to have the conversation with me through bringing forth through the stillness of the mind, the visions and the intuitions and the energetic urges that then are the answers to what I have been seeking to bring out. Okay, so it says in the sacred geometry, it is the Sri Yantra, a Hindu symbol of 9 interlocking triangles. From the inward moving outward, these triangles get larger. It is a representation of the ever-expanding cosmos, an example of everything being fractal and an understanding of the consciousness and its continual expansion. The Om symbol around the 4 edges depicts a mantra. It is a sacred sound and vibration used in chanting. In Hinduism, it is seen as the soul, the divine, with great spiritual power. As Om has a frequency of 432 hertz, it is in harmony with the vibration of the universe. Playing this sound during meditation helps the mind, body, and spirit harmonize with nature. Now, if you are not familiar with 432 hertz and 528, a quick search on YouTube will bring you many, many, many results of tones, sounds, meditations, binaural beats overlaid with it, pure tones, speaking mantras, all of that with that tuned to the frequency. I actually have crystal wands that emit the frequency of 528 and 432 that I use in my client healing sessions. So the sound of the universe, of which we are all parts of that fractal of the whole. We are never separated from anything else in creation. So I love that. Now it says the practical application of it is to start off spending 5 to 10 minutes a day in meditation. Assume the position you feel will be most comfortable, whether sitting in a chair or lying down. You can play some suitable music if you wish. Repeat the Om mantra over and over to fill your body with its vibration. Now, the card numerology is affiliated with 11, which is the conscious co-creation. We also spoke about that in our first of the year video. And of course, that is bringing in the cosmic consciousness and making sure that all that we manifest is in alignment with that from a place of awareness. And that is the as above, so below, as within, so without, as the universe, so the soul. We are in partnership in this journey as we are creating our experience. The crystal suggestions are selenite. All right, for the selenite, I keep a nice little selenite clearing charger here. And then we have celestite, which is kind of a bluish stone. Clear quartz, all right, for receiving the clear quartz from the spiritual attorney. So I clearly am receiving support from the universe for increasing my meditation time. I hear you. Okay, so I've got a nice new clear quartz, shiny new sparkly to do with. Also apophyllite and singing quartz. All right. So I guess you could tell what I'm going to be working on in the next few days, which is adding some meditative space and pull out my wands, play them for myself, sit with my clear quartz. Now, if you're like me, the act of meditating might have been something that has challenged you over the time. I always found it difficult to sit there and enter the space of, oh, no thought, because my thoughts just would pop up. But what I found is that you can meditate in lots of ways. For me, what worked is that I would use then a guided meditation, which would help me to have something for my mind to focus on so it wasn't ping-ponging everywhere. And through that guided meditation, then I could enter into a more still point place, the 0 point type of place. What I learned then is that I had to go the next step, which was taking music that did not have the prompts, because then that allowed my mind to relax another level to not necessarily hear the words and be engaged. So this is a process of several years that it's taken me to kind of get to a place where I can actually just be. And of course, sometimes what may happen to you, we call it a napitation. Instead of meditation, you wind up kind of going into a nap space. The thing is that if you need to like shut down the physical body, and when you reach that meditative state, then allow that, because that is also part of being okay with being still. Sometimes our body is like, wait, what? They're sitting down? We don't have something on our list to do for the next 15 minutes, I'm gonna go on and get this sleep real quick. And our body will shut us down. And they were like, oh, I woke up. I guess I was meditating, but maybe I was a little deeper than that. What you can also find is that maybe your sleep will not be as sound. And so you might have some lucidity and some visioning that comes forward from that skimming space as well. And that could be part of the way that spirit is able to have conversation with you as well. So don't judge yourself too much if you find yourself slipping off to sleep. All right, so what we're going to do then is focus our intention set in the center of this wheel, and we are going to see what additional sacred geometry from here wants to come in to assist us with the energy of the Sri Yantra and the meditation point before we move into the balance of masculine and feminine. So we'll say with the center vertical plane as above, so below, adding on to that geometric expression. All right, one more shuffle here. Thank you to everybody who is in the chat and who's tuning in live or at the time when you discover it. Thank you to my core patrons and supporters, Gooba's Gourmet, Tanya Woods. Thank you for always showing up for these moments. So it's nice to have people to walk on your spiritual path with. All right. Oh, the flower of life. the cocoon stage. Okay, as I said earlier, these symbols are found everywhere. They're all over. And I will put a link in the description box. One of the best summaries of the sacred geometry information is from the channel Spirit Science. It's these little cartoon people. They've been around since really the beginning of my awakening at this phase, which was probably like 2009, 2010. And what they did is created an animated version of Drunvalo Melchizedek's books, The Secret Keys to the Flower of Life or something like that. I'll pull it up here in a second, but I'll put the link to it because what they've done is they've taken all of the parts of their teachings that deal with sacred geometry and mashed them up into 1 hour and a half long explanation video. And the beautiful part about it is because it's animated, it's very lively, it is actually suitable for kids to watch, to understand. So they talk about the platonic solids and the elements of our universe, the sacred geometry of the 3, 6, 9, mathematics, and the Fibonacci, the flowering expression of consciousness, which is moving in infinite expression. So it's interesting because 13 is also a number of completion of 13 in terms of the tarot is where we see the transformation of the phoenix being consumed by the flames and moving into a new creation, a new being, a new way of participating in the world. So that is very interesting. And it says that the cocoon stage. So that's very interesting because we are going within. And the thing about the cocoon stage is that the caterpillar has no idea what it's going to be. At the point of its biology that it begins to encase itself, it encases itself in a protective covering. It is naturally able to create this covering that it is prompted to do by its own biological clock, by its own internal decision at the time is right in responding to the universal call in its DNA. It goes, withdraws, and then surrounds itself in a protective environment. And in that environment, it basically lets itself go. All right. They say that if you were to bust open a cocoon at the wrong time, then it would be just goo in the middle. It would just be the DNA. It wouldn't be necessarily a baby butterfly yet. It wouldn't be recognizable in any way, shape, or form. It's just the core material, which then will begin to slowly reform itself into something new that we call the butterfly. And it stays within that protective cocoon until it is ready to begin the process of emerging. And also, as it then struggles and emerges itself out of that cocoon, it is actually like drying itself off and getting power in its wings, in its muscles. And you cannot free a butterfly before its time, right? So the lesson of that is huge because, you know, I know personally there have been things that I have been marinating on and germinating and things that I want to do in a new way that I want to present into and interact with the external world. So allowing the space for that pause, if you will, for everything to be reshaped, trusting and knowing that if I'm answering the call of the divine in me, that is what is necessary. And then I will emerge into this new form. And I don't know what my colors are going to be. I don't know what my pattern is going to look like. That's not for necessarily my vision, but I just know that I am doing what I have been called to do. So let us see here what it says from the Flower of Life. I love these. This is beautiful. I have what it takes to birth my ideas and concepts and make them my reality. This card is letting you know that you are in the stages of gestation. You have been working hard towards something, whether it be on matters of finance, business, family, or personal. It's not long now until your ideas and concepts will birth into this world. You are working busily behind the scenes, and the knowledge and work that will be born are still in secrecy. This card can also be symbolic of pregnancy. I can tell you right now, at 50, I am not pregnant with the person, but I am certainly pregnant with possibilities and plans. Okay, so for those of you who are, congratulations. All right. In the sacred geometry, within the third rotation, the flower of life is formed. The most common form of the flower is a hexagonal pattern that consists of 19 full circles, each containing a full flower and 36 circular arcs. When we look at the design of water molecules and snowflakes, the same hexagonal pattern is present. Approximately 60 to 70% of our body and our world is water. The flower of life is surrounded by 2 circles on the outer, which mimic the zona pellucida, or the membrane that forms around an ovum or egg as it develops in the ovary and down the fallopian tube. Once fertilized, the membrane disappears. That's kind of cool, because the cocoon, the shelter, the structure, right? Once we're fertile and the idea is ready, then our barriers, our boxes, our containment, that which has held our form to that point is ready to be released so that it can become something more expansive. It says here, the flower of life is considered to be the most sacred and the universal blueprint. It is said that the outer spheres kept the knowledge within. Its perfect form, proportion, and harmony are most sacred. It contains within it the tree of life as taught in the Kabbalah, as well in ancient ruins. It is said to contain a vast Akashic system of information, including templates for the 5 Platonic solids. It is also said that if you remove these 2 circles, you will ultimately know the secrets of the universe. This was the way in which the ancient encoded their knowledge. Okay. Expanding into full awareness of the consciousness of all that is. How exciting, right? The practical application is when the time is right, you will shed the outer layers and give birth to a much awaited opportunity where all will be revealed. Don't give up now, even if you are feeling strained and struggling to see the bigger picture. You have worked so hard on this project, and in a short time, you will see the delivery of the fruits of your labor. You should be very proud of yourself and your accomplishments. Okay, I am. I received that. Right? The numerology is affiliated with the number 6, and 6 is a number about giving and receiving, having enough of energy and being relaxed enough in your flow that you are comfortable giving and receiving back. I think that's beautiful. And the crystals are merlinite, Nuumite, which is very interesting because Nuumite has come up before. When I was with Alka Kapoor, the crystal matchmaker, Nuumite came up. I had never heard of that crystal before. So trust we will be back on that subject in the future, because Alka is going to be on my podcast, The Psychic Inside Show, on the 25th. And then we are going to have a video about off the beaten path crystals like Nuumite, and so we can learn more about them with her knowledge sharing. So look for that coming up before the end of January. Labradorite, moss agate, and unakite. All right, so that is the support we have for this sacred geometry, from the void into conscious manifestation, allowing for the pause, allowing for the rest and the cocoon, the meditative state along the way of our journey. All right, so now let's see, the next layer is going to be the sacred geometry activations. Let's see what energy wants to support our masculine and feminine nature. All right, we got more of the Good Vibe Tribe showing up. Hello, Stacy, great to see you. The folks from Good Trouble Hair are in the place, and I am so grateful for my support network, for all of us that are taking this walk together. All right, so first we're going to get the feminine energy, so that creation, and then we'll see what the masculine is going to have to support bringing that manifestation out into reality, working in partnership always with our combined genderless energetic self. All right, one more good shuffle here. All right, so for the feminine, oh, this is so much fun. Gaia, okay, how about that for the ultimate feminine? And I'm gonna go ahead and pull the masculine out here. We're not gonna look at it yet, but at least I'll be able to put the rest of the deck now. So this is beautiful. I mean, Mother Gaia, how much more supportive can you get for the feminine than the planet supporting you, the planetary consciousness supporting you as you bring your high vibrational dreams and things into the full flowering of life. All right, let's look here real quick. And it says, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another, just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. Okay, so we had the Sri Yantra, the Mother Yantra, with the flowering of life and consciousness and the interconnectedness of the fractals being repeated. We can see here those circles of the flower of life. Also, and it's like the bounded edges are that orange that we saw in the other card, and we talk about then the releasing of those boundaries and edges. So, all right, let's see here from Mother Gaia what the deeper message contained in the card guidebook is. Gaia is the word used to refer to the earth as a living organism. As such, she radiates a deep sense of nurturing care, compassion, and wisdom, taking care of her loved ones and her community. She shares with us through her natural resources of food, light, and water. This sense of community, both large and small, is represented by the repeating pattern that stretches out from the core of this activation. Gaia is represented in both her water and her solid bodies by the blue and greens. As above, so below. This applies to the external world, the sky, the water, and the earth, as well as to the internal world of spirit and body. The pearl-like shapes symbolize both the deep secrets hidden beyond the physical world and beyond our off-planet origin. These pearls might even be making a sound like a soft humming or toning. And if we look long enough, we might hear it too. Through this understanding of Gaia and connection, we are invited to be conscious of how we walk this earth, to realize that we leave a footprint everywhere we go. We are also invited to find compassion for all beings that are with us on this walk and beyond. Our conscious connectedness creates balance and harmony throughout our reality and can move us forward into an expanded reality as well. So it's interesting because she talks about the soft humming creating a vibration, and we had here the Om, the vibration of the planet in the initial Sri Yantra activation. Okay, now it says, try this. Close your eyes for a moment and contemplate how we are all connected to each other, to the earth, and to the cosmos. Do you have a community that you are part of? Hey, Good Vibe Tribe, yes. How do you support this community? How does it support you? When was the last time you were in a group and experienced the power of joined intention? And this is on page 74, which is another 11, okay? The power of joined intention. Last time I was in a group like this was what, yesterday? I'm about to be in another group like this evening as we gather for our Friday night circle. Yes, all right. Yay for the Good Vibe Tribe. I feel so blessed. If you are needing a circle, vibrate that out, like receive the vibration that is a match to you. We're here, and you don't ever have to fear about letting go of your old circle of friends if it's no longer resonating. You can trust that God, Mother Nature, Gaia, Source, Universe, the divine has you cocooned in that safe space so that you can emerge into a community that is different. All right. Wow, this is so beautiful. If you pause, forgive me a moment, I need to clear a person out of the spam we got here in the chat room on the video. All right. So yes, the Good Vibe Tribe and Gaia, we are one human tribe. Nothing, no one is separate or out of that, as we talked about those interlocking triangles. All right. So let's see what we had here for the masculine. Woo! Wow, it's interesting because I say woo because it's super energetic. It's that orange. Look at that. Very interesting because the masculine is using the sacral chakra, the feminine cultivating womb space where your creative ideas come from. That is what is aligning for the masculine. Men have wombs too, okay? It's not just a physical organ in the body. It's actually our energetic center from which we get our inspirations, ideas, creativity, and then those are the things that we take out into the world. So very interesting. We have two, which is also togetherness, and this is a 2 year. Okay, we've got so many opportunities to step into co-creative, collaborative, community, partnership dynamics. So here we are. And then also this orange, my last reading was the Eye of the Tiger, and that orange, that tiger energy was all about that activation. So this is just delightful to me. That's why I giggle as these cards come out, because this is why I enjoy being aligned and aware of what Spirit and I are doing together. All right, so it says here, the frequency of the sacral chakra, the orange flower of life, the orange flower of life, okay, suggests our ability to flow with our desires and stimulates our creative power to manifest success and abundance in our lives. All right, if you're down to manifest success and abundance in your life to a higher degree, can you say hello in the chat or leave me a message in the comments? All right, so let us see here what it says. The flower of life is a geometric shape recognized by many cultures all over the planet. It consists of 13 equal circles. Hello for the 13 up here. Equal circles that intersect at the middle of each circle, creating a perfectly proportioned flower. As a symbol, the flower of life represents the universe as a whole, as well as the harmony in which all the separate components of the universe work together. This beautiful pattern is often used to indicate our understanding of our connections as humans and as spiritual beings to the whole. The color orange is associated with the second or sacral chakra, located just below the navel. It is linked to our creativity, sexuality, and emotional world. Orange encourages movement and connection with others. It has a freeing effect on the body and mind, stimulating creative thinking, abundance, success, and appetite. Its sense is taste. All right, I love that. And as I said before, I don't own a lot of orange clothing. So I'm gonna have to like be more purposeful in bringing orange into my vibration and my reality. I was looking at some orange couch pillows yesterday, but maybe that was part of that, wanting to bring more creative color therapy into my environment. All right, it says, try this. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Let go of your breath in an audible sigh. Now bring your attention to your emotions. How do you feel? Are you expressing yourself the way you desire in your daily life? Are you inspired? What do you do to express your creativity? How about your sexuality? Perhaps it is time for a new project or love affair. All right. All right. So, wow, this is great. So we've got so far Gaia, the flower of life. We've got the Mother Yantra, and again with the flower of life. This is really awesome. Okay, so for the last layer with the Native Heart Healing Oracle, these cards are also mandala forms and color that you can use to focus and meditate on. Again, like putting things like the Sri Yantra somewhere where you can see it and focusing on it. And that center bindi point that we see, that center dot down in there, to help you enter that zone of being in meditation would probably be helpful as well. I do not have a Sri Yantra in my office, but I think I'm going to get one. All right, so let us see what the guidance for the feminine and masculine from this Nature's Heart Oracle says as we add this layer. Right, feminine first and then masculine. Pull the feminine, got the masculine on the side, and here we go. So what do we have? Oh, the 4 directions, 22. Look at that image. In the square, the yantra that has that square around it, that is actually representative of the 4 directions in the full. There's the lotus flower, the 9 interlocking triangles, the bindi point. It's a very complex symbol in the Sri Yantra. So I do encourage you to go ahead and do a deep dive on that. So 22, what do we say? This is all about the 222s and the 4 directions here. This really does look almost like the cosmos, like a galaxy, like the stars, a nebula, a universe back there. And It also has the interlocking circles, so expanding beyond the boundaries of what we know. We're certainly doing that literally in the space realm right now, as we've sent these Voyagers and all these things out into the world that are now just coming online to begin streaming back to us, those pictures. But, you know, 4 directions, northeast, south, west, the elements of air, earth, fire, water, and ether, or the pure potential of energy, then being the 5th element and in the center. So 22, conscious co-creation and partnership. So let's see what the 22 has for us as the feminine aspect of nurturing. And it says here, weigh your options, make a new plan, and a combined approach. The 4 directions mandala represents a sacred time of ceremony and honoring your life's journey. The 4 directions, north, east, south, and west, each hold a different perspective. Learning and the journey within the circle of life that is also known as the medicine wheel. Each direction holds a power that reflects the 4 great powers within. The north holds wisdom, the east has illumination, the south is innocence, and the west brings introspection. It is important to note that you carry each direction within. They are your perceptions, your mirror to viewing your world, and thus are reflected within your everyday life. This mandala calls you to become the quester of your life. Seek within and you will discover perceptions, visions, and ways of being that you have not explored and hence lived thus far. Where in your life have you limited your perceptions? Where do you seek to grow yet have not taken the steps to do so? The journey upon the red road, the path you walk on this earth, is not one of comfort. It is a journey of adventure, trials, sovereignty, and freedom. You have the choice to grow at every opportunity and see each and everything around you not only as teachers of love, but as brothers and sisters of the universe. Everyone is sharing the same journey to wholeness through love and balance. You are safe and always have been to explore the universe within. Okay, one of the things that I love that I share with other members of the Good Vibe Tribe is this phrase from Walt Whitman that says, "From this moment forward, I loose myself of any limits and imaginary lines." All right, so always uncovering the lines, always uncovering the barriers that have been erected and allowing those things to dissolve so that we can become something new seems to be the message of that energy. Now, this has the 4 directions ceremony, which says this mandala holds a special place within ceremony. It is at its most powerful during sacred ceremony. Create a circle outside large enough to stand in with crystals or stones. Using a compass, place a crystal or stone of your choice on each of the 4 directions. Add 2 crystals or stones between each direction so that you have a circle of 12 crystals or stones. Place this mandala in the center. Enter your sacred circle from the east, as this is where the sun rises. You may wish to bring in the 4 directions by walking the circle, taking the time to feel and honor each direction, and then calling on your higher guidance and ancestors. From here, the rest is up to you. As the sacred circle you have created is multidimensional, you may wish to enter this space as a place of reflection, meditation, release, or manifestation. Sit or stand at the center and send forth all you wish to let go of, or set clear intentions for all you wish to create. The only limitations are those of your mind. Leave the circle in gratitude via the west where the sun sets. Okay, I've got a new activity to do. I'm definitely going to do that. If you don't have this deck or you don't have a card, you can rest assured that you can still do it without this focal point. Your imaging and your vision and your energy is sufficient. All right. I will have links to the decks used today in the comments box below as well if you are interested in bringing this deck into your spiritual practices. All right, the key elements are the rainbow ray, the 7 main chakras, the 7 directions, the 4 elements, ceremony, journey within, perception, vision, the universe within and without, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual self. All right. All right, for the 4 directions and the energy of 22. So let's see what the last card here is for the masculine. Oh, I love this. Okay, guess what? Solar Plexus chakra. All right, and look at that beautiful expanding sunflower, or lotus flower, or petals. We have that triangle of the masculine force in the center. We also have 3, which is mind, body, spirit, masculine, feminine, and the divine, bringing into manifestation. Again, we have that orange. I think that there's a message coming through for us. Okay. All right. For the solar plexus, let me get back to the right card. What else? Yes. And it's a 39, which is a 12, which is 3. So again, conscious co-creation using the 3 energies, our masculine, feminine, and divine spark. All right. So, all right. I was also looking at sunflower art yesterday. Sunflowers are actually a beautiful sign for me of my matriarchal lineage, my mother, my grandmother, grandmother's spirit. It's just beautiful being from Kansas as well, the sunflower state. So I have some sunflowers on and the sun energy on one side of my office and the moon and lunar energy on the other side. So here is that reinforcing the yellow of the sunflower and sunshine. And I feel so blessed to receive that that support, that cosmic hooray from the divine cheerleading team that is all the spirit surrounding me. So, all right, let's see here. Empowerment, live in joy and stand your ground. Radiant One, step within your personal pyramid where your empowered self awaits. All right, now the personal pyramid is an activity where you can envision yourself moving into, with the square bottom and then moving up into the point. You can step into that grid before you begin your meditation as a visual exercise as well. And then your guides and angels and your higher self can come into that light space and you can work with them in a conscious fashion through your meditative journey. So it says, this card brings you the empowering energy of the solar plexus chakra. Your soul has called forth this mandala as you have allowed yourself to step outside of your power and your joy, thus depleting your energy levels and undermining your self-worth. Release any feelings of confusion or remorse by simply allowing them to fall away. Take this opportunity to remember your brilliance. Step back within your power and take up the reins of life again with joy at your side. Your power is not a force outside of yourself. It is a power that lives within you. It is a core aspect of your very being. Okay, and I did receive, if you're on to my Instagram, then you know that we receive power and potential that you have no idea how much true potential you have. And so to believe in that, trust it, and expand. All right. So, wow, I definitely am looking to loose myself at any limits to the potential and how I see myself. All right. The solar plexus meditation says, lie down somewhere comfortable where you won't be disturbed. Place the solar plexus chakra card just above your navel on your solar plexus. Close your eyes and focus on deep breathing. Bring your awareness down to your solar plexus. Visualize the pyramid at the center of the mandala. This is your personal pyramid. When you are ready, step within your pyramid. As you do so, notice a shimmering yellow and gold. See yourself surrounded by this incredible light and feel it streaming down through the top of the pyramid. Allow yourself to sit under this golden yellow light and feel it filling your being, lighting your every cell and powering up your core. Feel the sun within you, charging and burning brighter than ever. As this is happening, notice a beautiful sunflower appear within your pyramid. This is a true indication that you are once again centered within your solar plexus chakra. Before you leave your pyramid, notice, feel, and be with your power. It is your knowing, your truth, and your sovereignty. Bring your awareness back to your physical self, open your eyes, and journey on. All right, okay, superpowers, all right. Key elements: golden ray, yellow ray, willpower, free will, longevity, sustenance, personal pyramid, and optimism. All right. Oh, look. solar power, right? Okay. So what a beautiful, encouraging message we have today. I mean, it just does not really line up any better than this. You can see, grab these here in this way. Look at the contrast, even in the palettes, right? We have the blues and greens, the void, but then we have this orange then on the Gaia card, bringing in this energy of all this solar action, empowerment of manifestation. So yay, thank you. This is beautiful. I'm going to sit with this guidance. It doesn't always activate to the fullest sense right away, and that's how it should be. This is food for thought. It's soul food for our expanding consciousness to give us the fuel and the confidence and the energy to know that everything is always aligned and we are always consciously creating. So do so with joy, knowing that we are held in Mother Gaia's arms as we do so, and that nothing is impossible for us. We can do it. All right, so to each of you who've joined, thank you. I can't wait to see what you are gestating and creating. And I will be back again for another reading in the near future. So I don't know when it will be, but it will be in the right time and in perfect alignment. All right. The light in me honors the connectedness that you are another version of me and I am another version of you. I see you. I honor you. I love you. Namaste.